Okay, welcome to this channel. If you are an entrepreneur, you are a web developer or app developer, this video is for you. I would like to show you this website. I have created this website, and this website is designed, is intended for people who are planning to have a website, an app, or any business. Okay, so the website name is reglemente.com. Okay. So what reglemente.com does is it does the following. All right. If you have a website, basically some laws, especially in the US, requires you to have a terms of services, to have a privacy policy, and also to have cookie policy. So the basically these are the following. I'm going to show you. Give me 1 second. So a lot of laws requires term of services, right? And because you're dealing with a business, so you need to have a clear terms in terms of you have to basically have to have a clear term between you and the customer, between your business and the customers. So you also have to have a privacy policy. So in terms of privacy policies, what kind of data are you getting from the customers, right? Are you getting like personal data? So you have to have, if you're getting personal data from your customers, you need to have a privacy policy. And also, you need to have a cookies policy. Cookies policy is basically meaning if somebody goes to your website, the technology is implemented in a website where it collects information on the users. So that's the cookie website. So you have to have a clear terms so that the customer is aware of it. That's the reason why it's important to have terms of services, terms and conditions, in other terms, right? You have to have it on your website. Is mandatory in many states, especially in the U.S. So why this website is much? Why the reason I'm putting up this website? Because the reason is, if you were to hire a lawyer, right, to draft a legal document for your business, it will cost you a lot of money. And as an entrepreneur, your starting point, and you don't have a lot of funds, and that's the reality of a lot of entrepreneurs. So you need to find ways to do things in a cheaper and a cost-effective way. So it is very cost-effective to use this website, right? It only costs you $25 to do it. If you were to hire a lawyer to do the document, or if you were to hire a freelancer, it will cost you probably a couple of $100. So I made it simple because I'm an entrepreneur. I understand the needs. So the reason I created it is when I was creating my business, and I find out that I was working with a developer, and when I asked him about the terms and services, and he wants to charge me a couple of $100 to just build the terms and services. And as a new entrepreneur, you don't have the resources, right? It's very tough, especially nobody believes in your ideas. Unfortunately, that's the case. So you have to find ways to really accomplish your objective with very cost-effective, means. So the okay, what else I wanted to point out? So let me show you how you do it. So the way you do it is you go to the website, right? And you click. So it is, don't be a lot of people say it's very simple. Yes, it is simple. Simplicity is important. So I made it simple so that it's easier to use it. So you click here, right? When you click here, you have to choose if you have a website, an app. So let's suppose you have an app, or you can choose both. You can choose the website, or you can choose app. So if you have both of them, you'll be able to choose both. Or let's just go with the website, right? You have a website, and you click next, and here you put your website name. So I'm going to give you an example. My website, which is Songbook. Okay, Songbook audio.com. All right. And the name of the business is Soundbook Audio LLC. Okay, so you put the address. I'm just going to put a arbitrary address, not a. So let's just put the one right there. Cupertino. So when you're creating the document, you need to put all the correct information, right? And this one, let's say support at reglemente.com. Okay, I put a phone number 201 95. Okay, you choose the primary language. If the primary language, if your customers are only English based, they only speak English, you just choose English. Let's go with English, or French, whichever language is your website. And also, do you offer services in multiple countries, right? And let's say yes. And you can choose the countries. Okay, let's say Belgium. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go back. I think there's Belgium, Brazil, so on and so forth. So you can choose your area for operation, and you click next. So in this one, I'm going to explain to you some of the terminologies here, right? So terms and conditions, right? So in this here, it asks you questions, and you have to choose yes or no, or does not apply. So the first one is, do you wish to include a limitation of liability clause? This clause limits it explains what this clause is. This clause limits the potential liability of your company in the event of damages. Okay, so you need to have a liability clause in your policy, in your business policy, so that you won't be sued by clients. Okay, please select yes to include the standard policy. Okay, so there is a standard policy which it will be created from the website, or if you have your own liability limitation policy, you can put it there. So please choose no if you wish to provide a description of your own liability limitation policy, or you can choose does not apply if this clause is not relevant to your operations. So suppose you have your own, limitation of liability, right? So you click no, and here you type in details your limitation of liability. So limitation of liability is you have a business and you don't want to be liable, so you have to clearly indicate in your terms what kind of the expectation, what kind of expectation you want from the customers. And in return what kind of services they will get. Okay, so it allows you to basically not be able to be sued by by customers. So let's say, so I'm just gonna copy the question and then just paste it here. Okay, but if you do have your own liability, you can write it down, or you can just paste it here. So I'm going to just paste it. The next question is, do you want to include a dispute resolution clause in your terms and condition? This clause outlines how potential disputes are resolved. Please select yes or no. So this clause is important, right? If there is any dispute about your services that you have, about your website, you have to, you know, the customer has to agree what kind of resolution in the event there is a problem arises. So you indicate what kind of resolution you want to have. So here there is a standard resolution which is really good. So in this case, you don't actually need to have your, unless you know, this is intended for smaller businesses, right? Not corporations where there are a lot of details that needs to be created. That's where they need to hire a lawyer and so on and so forth. But as you are operating at a smaller scale, uh, this standard will be enough. So let's say yes. Okay. Uh, Next one is, would you like to incorporate the intellectual property rights clause into your final terms and conditions? This clause establishes ownership and protection of intellectual property. Please indicate your preference by selecting yes or no. So if you're dealing with intellectual property uh, uh, issues, you can choose yes. Okay. Otherwise, you can choose no. So it's up to you. Do you wish to include the applicable laws and regulation clause in your final terms and conditions? So this clause is vital as it clarifies that your website slash app operates in accordance with all relevant laws and regulations. This reassures your user of legal compliance, potentially enhancing trust and transparency. Please indicate yes to include this clause or no to omit it. So this clause is just, it reassures your clients, right? People want to make sure that when they dealing with you, they they want to be reassured that your business is not a shady business. There are a lot of shady business out there. So so you want to be. Uh, Let me give you an example. I was doing I was doing some trading about 2 years ago, and the uh, the broker that I was using was referred to me by one of my friend, and unfortunately, that broker operates in I believe in Virgin Islands, so it wasn't operating in the U.S. and because the laws in the U.S. are very strict, right, in terms of financial services when it comes to finance. And unfortunately, I lost a lot of money because it's not a regulated broker, and, they don't comply with your U.S. Laws. So this clause allows you to reassure your customers what kind of that you are uh, in fact complying with U.S. laws. If in the context of United States, that's really a gives a positive perception from your customers. So let's click yes. You have to click yes for this one. Would you like to incorporate a privacy policy into your final terms and condition, outlining how user data will be collected, used, and protected? So the privacy policy is really important because when you sign up to a website, you put your email, your phone number, and your name or your addresses. You don't actually know what your if their information are being sold to other corporation, right? So remember, in the case of Facebook, Facebook was selling the customers' data to, I believe to the companies that do advertising on their websites. So it's important that you clarify how the data will be used. Okay. Uh, because it's important, if you are just because there are some companies that buy emails, phone number. Are you selling those data, or those data are protected, and you don't, you don't just keep them on your service without any use, using for other purposes. So you have to clarify that, and that's important. So the privacy policy, yes. So you click yes. The next one is, do you wish to include a termination policy in your terms and conditions, specifying the conditions for suspending or terminating user access to the website, app, yes or no? So you have to, in this here, you have to clarify what kind of terms. So let's, if you take a, if so the standard, right? The standard policy is, if you have a website, you want to make sure that the user are not engaging in shady behaviors by trying to I don't know, scam other users, right? Or trying to post very inappropriate things that are not appropriate on the user feeds, right? So there are things that goes against the laws. So you have to really clarify that if they go beyond those limitations, their account would be terminated. So you have to indicate, you cannot just terminate a user without clarifying in your terms and conditions. So it has to say clearly in the terms and conditions so that they are aware of it. So that also allows you, when you put the document on your website, uh, it allows user to agree or not to agree. If they agree to the terms and conditions, so they have to abide by it. Okay, let's say yes on this case. So the next one is, do you want to include an acceptable use clause in your final terms and conditions? If you answer yes, this would outline the expected responsible and legal behavior of users when interacting with your website, such as respecting laws, regulations, other users, and not distributing harmful or offensive content. So this is important. You gotta click yes on this. Do you wish to include a prohibited behavior clause in your terms and conditions? If yes, this would detail the type of behavior that are not allowed on your website, such as posting disruptive or offensive content, impersonating others, violating laws, and attempting to compromise system integrity. So this one applies when you have a website where user have to sign up, right? And the user have to interact with other users. But if you have a website that just displays information for your business, and it doesn't collect any information, and there is no exchange of information between the between those users, it's not necessary. So it's up to you. But for the sake of the presentation, I'm just going to put a yes. Do you wish to include a cookie policy in your terms and final terms and conditions? If you answer yes, this would outline the use of cookies on your website, app, and their role in enhancing user experience. So cookies is basically, there are is a technology where the website collects information on the user. So remember, if you go to a user the website, there are some information that the website collects in terms of like your location, uh, your some of the information that you are not aware of it, what kind of laptop you're using, your geographic location, uh, your phone number, what type of phone. So all there are some very you know technical things that you don't know as a user, but the companies, they know. So you have to clarify. But in this case, it is important to have cookie policy just for the sake of it. So you click yes. Do you want to include a warranty policy in your terms condition, affirming products, services are offered as is, unless it's stated otherwise? Choose yes, or a standard policy, or describe your own custom policy. So if you have product or services, and you have a warranty, warranty policy. If you have your own warranty policy, you can say does not apply. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Yeah, you click no, and you put your own policy here, right? Detailing, because each business have their own policy, what kind of return policy you have, warranty policy you have, based on your items or your service. But if it doesn't apply, you just say it does not apply, or you just click yes. I mean, if you click yes, there's a standard warranty policy that will appear on the final draft, but maybe for your business it might not apply. So let's just click does not apply. Do you want to include a refund policy in your final terms and conditions? This policy outlines the conditions and procedures for requesting a refund for products or services. Please select yes to include this standard policy, or provide a description of your own customized refund policy, or choose does not apply. So in what conditions you apply refund? Does your business apply refund? Or if you want to, you have to have a custom, right? You can write it down, your refund policy, and you can put, you can choose does not no. You choose no, and then you put your own details. Okay. If you don't have any refund process, you just say no, does not apply. Would you like to provide, I'm just going to put yes for the sake of it for now. Would you like to provide the option for user to create a user account to access certain features or services on your website, app? Please select yes if user accounts will be available, or no if accounts will not be required. Okay, so if you have a website that requires users to sign up, you have to click yes. It's important, especially if you're collecting data, user data, you have to click yes. Okay, so this one is important too. Do you want to include a user content or content backup clause in your final terms and conditions? This clause addresses ownership, responsibility, and the guidelines related to user-generated content on your website, as well as the responsibility for creating backups of user content. Please select yes to include this standard policy, or no if you do not wish to have a separate user content and content backup clause. So this one applies if you're collecting data from users, right? Your website, the users go there and they upload some data, and you have to clarify how, in terms of their content, the user content, are they going to be backed up, or they're not going to? So for example, for this website, right, for reglemente.com, for my website, in terms of when you create the document, you have to be logged in, and when you logged out, the document will disappear. Okay, we don't keep those information, right? So to make it simpler, so you have to be logged in, right? You're logged in. You create the document, okay, and you download the document, or you copy and put it somewhere else. When you log out, the document is gone, okay, because we don't keep user data, especially the documents that they generate. It's not part of the our policy. So let's say yes. Okay, this one could include DMCA notice and a DMCA procedure for copyright infringement claims. In your final terms and conditions, this clause outlines the process for addressing copyright infringement claims under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA. Please select yes to include standard policy. No, if you do not wish to have a separate DMCA notice in the DMCA procedure clause, or does not apply if copyright infringement claims are not applicable to your, to your business. So this one usually applies for publisher, right? If your website is allowing people to publish content, you need to have this clause. If your website doesn't allow publishing, like let's say publishing an article, publishing images, publishing a book, right? Then you have to have this clause. Okay, and do you want to include a third-party links clause in your final terms and condition? This clause addresses the inclusion of links of third-party website or resources on your website. Please select yes to include this standard policy. No, if you do not wish to have a separate links, third-party links clause. So this one, especially, some website, you go to some website and you see a lot of links, right? A lot of ads. When you click on the ads, it takes you to a different website. And a lot of times they have a lot of ads on their websites. And particularly, I do not like it. It's very good. It seems like the website, they are making money out of it. But as far as user experience, it's really bad. I hate those links that you see on the website. So if your website has those kind of links, you have to click yes. If it doesn't have it, you say it does not apply. Or to ensure, this one is long. All right, let's go further. Okay, the next clause is to ensure clarity and enforceability. The inclusion of a severability in the waiver clause is recommended in your final terms and condition. This clause addresses the severability of provisions and the waiver of rights. Please select yes to indicate your agreement to include this standard policy. This one is recommended, so you can have it there. Say yes. Do you include a section on specific legal requirements? This section addresses compliance with applicable laws, regulation, and legal requirements, including but not limited to privacy, data protection, intellectual property, consumer protection, and industry-specific regulations. Yes. Do you want to include subscription and payments terms? These terms outline payment obligations, renewal cancellation policies, and more. So this one, especially if you're taking payment from users, right? Or you have a subscription model for your website, you need to have this clause included. Okay. Do you want to include a payment fee? So if you take payments, you have to what type of fees you have to identify. You have to specify. Okay. This clause outlines any applicable fees associated with payment transactions, such as transaction fees, third-party fees, and currency conversion fees. Please select yes to include this standard policy, or no if you do not wish to have a separate payment fee clause. Okay, if your website takes payment, that's important to say yes. If you don't take payment, say no. Okay, would you like the terms and conditions to contain a PCI DSS compliance section asserting your commitment to the security standard for handling credit card information? So this one is really important, especially if you're taking payments, right? And the customers are paying through a credit card or debit card. You have to reassure your customers that their payments will be safe. There won't be any issues in terms of somebody taking their information and they're using for other purposes. So this clause is really important, especially if you reassuring the customer that their payment information are safe and secure. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, so all right, so we came to the final point, right? So here, when you want to create it, so you click create for, so you create, and it takes you uh, to your pay. You have to have a PayPal account. So the reason I put a PayPal as a getaway is PayPal is very safe. Okay, it's very safe. It has a good record. A lot of companies use it. So I use PayPal as a getaway payment to be for use for you to be able to use it. Okay. In this case, so even if you don't have PayPal account, when you click on it, it gives you an option. It takes you to PayPal, but it gives you an option to put your credit card information or your debit card. So it's not going to be saved, but if you are not a PayPal user, you can still pay it by typing in your information. But if you do have an account with PayPal, you don't have to do that. You just click and it goes to your account. So this is the final document. So once you get so I'm going to show you what type of document you will get. Okay, so this here, when you click here, so this is the document that you'll be able to get it, right here. So it will specify all the details relating to to your website. It's important to have one, especially if you have a website or an app, because let's suppose if you have an app, Apple requires you to have a privacy policy link where it is stated clearly how you handle users' information. So I put all the privacy policy, right? Let me show you here. I put terms of services, privacy policy, cookie policy, and other policies, right? All in one place. So you don't have to draft one policy for each section. So your terms and condition include all the policies, okay, to make it easier. Because in some instances, when you go to some website to create the terms and conditions, they charge you for terms and service, and then they charge you for privacy policy, then they charge you for cookie policy. So these are different charges that you cannot afford. So I put all the three of them, all the policies, business policy, cookie policy, terms of service in one place, and and they make it simpler and easier, and it's cheaper. It's only $25. So I would highly recommend the viewers to check it out. Okay, especially if you are an entrepreneur, you're building a website. If you're a website builder, I highly recommend that you use my services. So if you have any questions, you'll be able to send me a message. There's a support options. Let me show you here. So when you click on the help, right? So email support, it gives you an email support on here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so you see the email support. So you click on that and you'll be able to send me an email. Thank you for watching. See you another time.